All right, guys, we're going to talk about what I think is one of the safest ways to open the closed guard. Knowing how to open the closed guard is really important because a lot of guards, you can just if you don't feel comfortable, you can just give up a sweep. So for example, if I'm in the daily Hiva guard and the guy's doing something, I just don't really feel safe in it. You can always kind of fall, give up a sweep. If you have a good guard, recover, and you're not in super danger, right? In the closed guard, there's really no way out. If you're in and you feel really uncomfortable, if you fall to your back, you're giving mount, which is 6 points and also really dangerous submissions coming, right? So it's a very important position to know how to deal with, right? So there's a lot of different ways guys talk about. I'll just go shortly through a couple of the main ways. Some guys show the old school one where you stay on the ground, which I'm going to talk about a little bit because it's a bit of a controversial way to open. Another one that people talk about is just one of the classics, you stand up and lift the guy here and start pushing on the leg. One of the risks with this one is the guy can underhook your leg and knock you to mount. It still works, of course, and a lot of guys use it at a high level, but you do see even at a high level, a lot of guys get swept straight to mount from there. Another one, it's not my style, but you do see guys use it. It's like the Sao Paulo pass where they underhook here and they start pushing the leg down and stepping over. Okay, and that leads to the one we're covering today. It's basically one where you stand up and put your knee in the center, okay? So this kind of ties in with the one where you open on the ground. So the first thing I want to focus on when I get put in the closed guard is I need to keep my posture. So I'm going to double grip the lapels. You can grab the material here near the armpit, but basically, okay, I want to get the lapels here and I want to get my elbows down. What he's looking to do when we're in closed guard is to get the inside position with his arms, right? If he gets in here and I'm pushing, he can break and go for an overhook. He can go for a cross collar grip. So there's this constant battle for the inside position, right? I want to keep the lapel grips to push him away and prevent him from going to either side, and then also drop my elbows so it's hard for him to pummel under. So you start pummeling under. See, I can drop my elbows and make that difficult, okay? What I'm going to do from here is I frame my palms into the armpit. I go head down, and I'm going to walk my hips back like this, right? Now, this is where we have two possible options. I'm going to start walking my hips back here. I keep him kind of pinned here. It's hard for him to do much, right? Here, I want to kind of work the space out with my hips and kind of make his ankles really uncomfortable, okay? If he leaves his feet really low, this is where that old school pass where you put the knee in the center and come up here actually works well, okay? I think the mistake most people make with this is they go for the hips first like this. So if you started here, whether you're on your toes or not, they go for the hips first like this, and then they start doing this, and the guy starts pulling really hard, start grabbing my collars and pulling, and then you get buckled over, okay? I'm sure some of you had that experience where you learn this pass, you try this, and a big, strong dude keeps pulling you forward. The reason that happens is because you're too close to your posture point, or your frame with your hands, right? It's like a tripod, right? The wider the base, the more support there is. If you bring one side in too close, it's gonna collapse. So you're here, right? And then as you bring this in, it's gonna fall over, right? So if I'm here like this, it doesn't take much to bring me forward to collapse me, right? But if you start with this down position where you walk your hips back like this and get your hips really far back, if he leaves his legs low like this rather than relocking high over my back, right? Go back low. Okay, if he leaves his legs low, I put one knee in the center. Come around here so you can see my knee. The knee's in the center, not because I'm trying to frame on his tailbone or anything like that. You see that in a lot of videos. It's just to get my hip to one side. When I'm here and I'm ready, I'm going to switch up real quick, and you can switch to the pants, you can palm the ribs, the belt, doesn't matter. But at this point, my hands are further away from my upper body, so when he pulls, he's not going to break my posture here. Pull. See, I have a strong frame here. Now I just push my hip back, and I can open this, all right? Now, if the guy's significantly taller than you, that's not going to work, right? This one is more like if the guy's got shorter legs, or you can just try it if you feel it. But generally, when the guy's got longer legs, or, and this is the main pass I'm going to show here, when you go back, he relocks his legs higher over your back. That's super common. When this happens, the move I just showed is not going to work. This is where we have to go into the pass that I'm showing today, which is we're going to stand up on our toes first like this and frame here. From here, I'm going to step one foot in the center like this, and now come around the front over here. Okay, it's hard to see, but my knee is going to go through this hole between my chest and his hips, back like this. So this gets the knee in the center. From here, I really quickly switch to the hip and drive to pry it open. And then we've opened the guard, okay? Going through that leg work when I'm here, I frame, I get my hips back, I stand up with one foot, and I kind of tripod high like this, right? On my toes,
I step 1 foot in the center, and the most common mistake people make is they drive their knee forward to go through. What you actually want to do is bring your body weight back towards your heel and let that knee come up to your chest. That goes through the hole, right? From there, your knee's up in the center. I usually grab the hips and just pry to break it open, and then you can start working to Toriando or knee cut or what you want.